Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a stem and leaf plot. So first of all, I'll write out some data and we're going to use this data to make our stem and leaf plot. So basically, a stem and leaf plot is just a graph. It's a graph that helps represent information in a certain way, which we can then use to interpret that information. So the first thing you want to do is when you're given your data, you're going to want to order this data from smallest to largest in number size. So I've already done this to save time, and here is our data. So we're going to use this data to make our stem and leaf plot. So I'll just draw a line here so we can have our data on one side and our graph on the other. So the first thing you want to do when making a stem and leaf plot is to draw two lines. One line is going to go straight down, just like this, and the other is going to go horizontal at the top of that line. If you're in a test, probably use a ruler, but anyway, a stem and leaf plot has two parts, a stem and a leaf. This part here is the stem, while this part here is the leaf. So the stem is for the first half of each number, so like 66 would be the 6, 71 would be the 7, whereas your leaf is the second half of each number. So for 80, it'd be the 0. For 71, it would be the 1. So that's the difference between your stem and your leaf. Now, when we make this graph, we want to put our stems down on the stem part. So that includes all of our stems. So like our 2 from 24, or our 4 from 41, or 5, 6, 7, and 8, because those are all of our stems. Now let's put our stems in from smallest to largest. So we start with 2. Next up is 3. Now we don't have a 3, but we're going to put it in. You need to put all of them in without skipping a number from smallest to largest. Even if your data set doesn't include that stem, you need to include it. Otherwise your distribution will be put off and interpreting it won't be accurate. So if we continue down, put in our 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that includes all of our stems that we have in this data set, as well as the 3, as remember, you can't skip one. Now let's move on to the leaf. So the leaf includes all the secondary numbers. So for 24, we have 4. We're going to put 4 right across from 2. Now for 3, remember we have nothing in the 30s, so we can just leave that blank. But for 40, we have 41. We have another 41, so you're going to want to put that just to the right and put a comma in between. And then 43, again, just to the right, like so. Next up, we have 44, 47, so we have 4, 7, and you just keep going, include all of your leaves as so. Now for 50s, we'll continue the pattern, so we have 1, 5, 9. Make sure that all of these line up and they're all straight with the ones above them. Make sure everything's very neat. Now for 60s, we have 0, so if you just have 60, you put 0. And then we have 6, and then for 70s, we have just 1, and for 80, we have just 0. And that's our complete stem and leaf plot. And as you can see, we had to leave that 3 blank, as we can see the distribution clearly. If we had taken that 3 out, the 4 would appear a lot closer to the other values than it really is. The last thing you need to have is a key. Now your key helps people interpret it if they don't have the data. So let's say for 24, if we have 2, you do a line like that, and 4, you have to say that is equal to 24 so that people know. 2 line 4 could equal anything. It could equal 2.4. But the key helps people interpreting the graph know that 2 line 4 is equal to 24. Anyway, that's how you make a stem and leaf plot. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.